Hello again. In my last video, I was talking about our caveman physiology and the way that it can cause us some problems when we're trying to live and cope with our everyday lives. It really is a weird and wonderful thing, the way that our brains and bodies try to cope with stress that comes with modern life. Stress has been with us humans from the very beginning of our existence. It must have been pretty stressful trying to cope and survive in our caveman days. Dangers were everywhere. So as we gradually evolved as a human race, we survived because of a series of protective physiological mechanisms that helped our bodies respond in a way that was likely to keep us safe and alive. I previously explained about the fight or flight response that helped our caveman ancestors deal with the saber-toothed tiger. Bodily changes occur, such as pumping blood to our muscles, so that we were physically prepared to either fight the tiger or to run away, hence the term fight or flight response. We are only really designed to cope with intermittent danger, with intermittent stress. So there are periods of calmness and then periods of danger. Therefore, our bodies are better designed for a pattern of stress that goes up and down with intermittent peaks. This means the stress is actually not bad for you if you manage to keep this pattern going. This is because the occasional peak of stress helps to fire up the organs in our bodies and give them a really good workout. So they'll work at the peak of their efficiency a few times a day. And that actually helps to keep our bodies healthy. So some stress is generally good for you. So the question is, when does stress become bad for you? And the answer seems to be when the pattern of stress changes, so it becomes much more constant with fewer breaks and fewer dips. So instead of a healthy series of peaks with the up and down waveform, there is instead this pretty high constant level with hardly any breaks at all. This pattern of constant high level of stress is known as chronic stress, and this state can creep up on us fairly easily without us even realising it. Nowadays, everyday life is more or less constantly stressful. We have to juggle so many things, and we also spend so much time working on computers or electronic devices, which bombard us with endless information for hours at a time. So our everyday lives are endlessly busy and endlessly hectic, with our brains being asked to cope with so much every single moment of every single day. Therefore, it is easy to become overloaded, and this is known as cognitive overload, which I have explained about in an earlier video. I genuinely believe that this overload is the main cause of chronic stress. This chronic stress can really get us into trouble, mainly because it triggers another protective physiological mechanism in our bodies, which was originally really useful for our caveman ancestors, but is not always so great for us modern humans. When stress goes from being intermittent to chronic, three main areas in our bodies can become disrupted. The hypothalamus, which is a very important area deep within our brains. The pituitary gland, which is a tiny pea-sized gland that is deep within our skull, attached to our brains. And the adrenal glands, which ride on top of our kidneys like jockeys riding a horse. These three key parts of our bodies are influencers, and together they are called the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. HPA axis for short. When these three major influences are thrown out of balance, every single important system in our bodies become affected. So the circulation of blood around the body, the movement of food through our gut, the fluid levels in every single cells of our bodies, our immune system, which is meant to protect us from infection, and even our sex organs. All kinds of knock-on effects can then start to happen, and some of them not good. To find out more and also to find out more about how soothing stress strategies can help, look out for my next video here on my Facebook page and also my YouTube channel. Bye for now.